Welcome to this video. My name's Caffeine Joe, and today I'm going to talk to you about a book I just read. So I know I'm not some sort of literature expert, but I'm just going to tell you what I think about this book. I'm probably just going to make videos about whatever I feel like making videos about, and if you watch it, great, and if you don't, then you don't, and hopefully if you like it, you'll leave a like, and it'll be awesome. But today I'm talking about a book. So in February, I made it my goal to read and finish a book. I have been really lazy about reading books because just life gets so busy and you're not willing to invest the time to sit down and read a book instead of, watch TV or read manga or nap. So anyway, I got this book from my mom in September. I borrowed it in September and it literally sat on my nightstand for 5 months. And so finally in February, as a part of my 2018 goals of motivating myself, I made a list of things I wanted to do, and in February one of the things was finish this book. So I finally sat down and I pushed through it, and the book is 1984 by George Orwell. And obviously this book is a classic. It's a timeless masterpiece. It's recommended by all of the big literature gurus. It's force-fed to children in high school. It's made to be read in college. It's just, everyone's heard of this book. I mean, there's nobody who hasn't heard the phrase Big Brother's watching you, because it gets referenced all the time. And I somehow managed to escape this book for 24 years of my life. And after it being recommended to me by my mother, who was reading the 101 books you need to read before you die list, and my boyfriend, I decided, you know what? I'm going to sit down. I'm going to do this. I'm going to read this book. So basically, 1984 is a book about a dystopian future where the government controls everything. And it comes from the perspective of Winston Smith, who is basically the everyman, where he doesn't like the government, but because of how in control the government is, he can't do anything about it. So it's basically his adventure, if you will, into how the whole thing plays out. So I'm sitting here and OMG, the first couple chapters were so hard to get through. I was literally laying in bed trying to read this before I went to sleep, and all I did was fall asleep. But I kept trucking because, one, I had this goal, and two, because everyone said it was so good, so good. So, I mean, far be it for me to tell thousands of people through the decades that they're completely wrong about this book. So I kept reading, and I was really, I know that the setup of the culture and the fact that there's this whole world where the government controls everything, it's English socialism, was interesting, but I don't know, I'm more for the fantasy, romantic, hopeful realm. So this was a little depressing for me. But I do have to say that I'm really glad I read it. The book was boring at first, but as I am a sucker for romance, spoiler, once Julia came into the picture and they were having that secret love affair, I literally couldn't stop turning pages. I was obsessed. And I just felt the need to pause every page or two to tell my boyfriend oh my god, this just happened with Julia. Oh my god. And I was so excited. And then I felt, I guess I don't know why I thought that it would turn out this way, since everyone says it's a dystopian future book, but I really thought the whole thing was going to be him and Julia beating odds, joining the Brotherhood, and then becoming the people who end up turning over the government, and then things go back to capitalism or whatever. And I was so hyped. I was so excited for things to go well. And then they didn't. So I was really disappointed when he ended up in the Ministry of Love, and I was I kept reading when are they going to break him out? When is he going to find out that people are secretly more against the government? And then it never happened. It just never happened. And I was really upset about that, actually, because why can't we have hopeful books? I don't know. I guess I know that was the ending that caused it to be such a critically acclaimed novel. And I know that ending is really what was right for the message that was being sent. But I don't know. I would have liked a future where he, like, the Brotherhood would have secretly won or something like that. But anyway, I think the way that he portrayed Winston in a very relatable fashion was absolutely remarkable. And I think the way that they showed how Winston was tortured and broken down into just a shell of a man was poetically done. It was amazing. I think human psyche and the ability to control others is a very downplayed thing in our society. And like just the concept of newspeak, I think it's very relevant, especially now politically with the culture we have going on. The fact that there's so much like censoring in all governments, and opinions are being held back, and you know, it's not just necessarily the government, but society is saying that we can't use certain words. It kind of struck a chord with me in that way. So do I think that this is a book worth reading? Absolutely. Would I read it again? Probably not. But I really did enjoy it. And I know that, like I said, I am not any type of literature major or expert on major books and what they mean for society. But I really did enjoy this book. And feel free to leave in the comments below like what you thought. And if you also kind of wished for a hopeful ending, because I know I did. And yeah, so that's the first thing. And then next time I see you guys, I'll go over the rest of my February goals, because by then February will be over and I can tell you my progress. But thanks again, and I'm super excited to continue my YouTube journey with you guys. All right,